I'm sure a lot of you will be able to relate to what I'm going to say. Times when you feel very happy for no reason, chuma. Not that this has happened, not that that has happened, not that this has been accomplished, not that this has been set right. In fact, you are not even searching or assigning a reason for your happiness. You're just happy. Chuma. Without drinking, without drugs. Chuma happy. And you don't know what to do in that state. You want to do something with that happiness, but you don't know what to do with that state, where to demonstrate and how to demonstrate. Chuma. You know that state, le? Okay. Because I know in the common world, a lot of people go through chuma depression. Okay. Chuma. Not that husband has run away, or wife is beating, or they have lost a job. Nothing. They suddenly think that 4-5 weeks ho gaya. Continuously happy. Some change is required. They get depressed. Okay. That's also another emotion. And happiness is another emotion. That's how I'm feeling. I'm not able to explain why. But very happy. But irrespective of how I feel, my karma is set Sunday morning 7 to 9 I have to take a mastermind. So I'll happily take a mastermind today. Times when you feel suddenly grateful. Not for this reason, not for that reason, not that you're sitting and taking a stock of how blessed your life is, but you're just grateful. Not grateful to him, not grateful to it, not grateful to her. There's no direction to that gratitude. It's not even subjective, it's not towards chuma objective gratitude. Suddenly there is this feeling. This Friday happens to be Guru Purnima, July 15th. In fact, it's a beautiful weekend. Guru Purnima. Saturday we do program for teachers and Sunday mastermind. Sunday mastermind will be subject plus launch into schools, and from Monday we go to schools. So it's a beautiful weekend. It's continuously, it's not just good days, very reverential days. And I remember the year before last year, we had a program in the Temple of Transformation on Guru Purnima. And somehow, after the entire thing was over, I remember Pavitra Srinivasan coming and hugging me and just telling me. Because that program started by me saying, those of you who cannot hold your body in meditative stillness, please get up and leave. I want meditative stillness inside this room for the next 2 hours. And she said, I felt I should get up and go. What is this meditative stillness? First I have to understand, then I have to practice. But for some reason, I sat back. And somewhere as the session was going on, there was this knowing within me. Not realization, not understanding, not contemplation, not realization, nothing. There was just a knowing within me. Everything about my life is going to become right. And after that I didn't even ask, there was no need to ask that question, what makes you think so, or how you think it's going to be like this, or what. No, there was nothing. It was not even correlated to what was going on. Suddenly there was a knowing, everything about my life is going to become right. There's no source to it, there is no direction to it. And I witnessed it ever since. Actually everything about her life has gone right. Moments like that where you don't know from where it's coming, you don't know in what direction it's going. It is just an internal impulse, an epiphany, a very spiritual moment, something that is not definable, something that cannot be explained, something cannot be confined, something that exposes you to the poverty of your own language and vocabulary, that you know that no matter how much you have been communicating all through your life, there is that moment where you know you just cannot communicate this. Just a moment of flooding of love. It's not just anything that can come within your periphery during that moment. Anything can be in your mental vicinity. And you feel love for everything. And it's not for any reason. It is. The only difference must be between common man and Buddha is these states must be permanent for him. These states are visitors in our life. It comes and goes. And it must be a permanent state in an enlightened person. And those, I think, are the very special gifts of being a human being. Very special gifts of committing yourself to the process of lifting your own consciousness towards higher realities. I think that's basically a gift we give ourselves of learning to watch our own life as outside observers and seeing where it can be fine-tuned and where you can. This constant process of striving, not to reach anywhere, but just the joy of the journey of making today better than my yesterday. Just for the sheer celebration to ensure my today in every way is better than my yesterday. Not to prove a point, not to reach somewhere, not to accomplish something. Because after all, by now, most of us sitting here together, we have achieved goals, reset the goals, achieved goals, reset the goals, achieved goals, reset the goals, achieved goals. And setting a goal and transcending the goal is habitual to most of us. So now we know, at least experientially, there is no finishing line to life. There is no end line to life. The joy is in the journey. The joy is in creating. The joy is in becoming. The joy is in arriving. It's not in the destination. The circus is interesting. The game is beautiful. You're just in awe with the celebration called life. And to know that in your own right, you are the hero of your own life. You are the central piece in your own life. And the entire tamasha is going around you. And you look back and laugh at yourself that you identified yourself with the tamasha and struggled. And suddenly you are able to watch this entire tamasha around you. You're in it, but not part of it. It's a huge. I'm trying to communicate thoughts that I've never had. I'm chumma happy. Somehow I'm not able to close this. And I'm not a guy who naturally smiles. For me, smile is a decision. Or you have to stimulate, smile at me. When you smile at me, I'll reciprocate a smile. Otherwise, I'm lip tight. But now you can take a photograph of me. You don't have to tell me smile, please. So bandh nahi ho raha hai. And I don't have a reason. I'm doing the same stuff. I've woken up to a morning every day. I've brushed the teeth the same way. I have the same family. Every sunrise, same wife, same children, same parents. Okay, nothing changes. Same work, same you. I can anticipate more or less what will be your questions at the end of the mastermind, though I'm not sure about my answers. Your questions have not changed. My answers have. I'm thinking maybe this answer you will understand, so I'm always giving another answer. But I'm not able to explain. Okay. I can understand what a lunatic is. He doesn't know what he is going through. And there is this. I like what Buscaglia always says. People think I'm crazy. And I'm okay with that. Buscaglia says, people think I'm crazy, I'm okay with that. Because you have already concluded I'm crazy. I can do whatever I want. And so life is so divine and interesting for me. I pity you because they have called you a gentleman. You have to live up to being a gentleman. And when I look at your life, I feel it's so boring. I just want to share this because I know I'm standing in front of an audience who understand what I'm saying. You feel happy for no reason. You feel grateful for nothing. Chumma. The chumma emotions of life. Love you so much. Because the entire context of my life has been defined only in the context of you. I don't think there's been anything about my life in 17 years without you and beyond you. There's nothing more to my life. In fact, every door they open and some more treasure in Trivandrum is coming. And the whole world is excited about it. I also asked Gopal, 40 acres we are digging, only more stone, some more stone, lot more stone. And for some of us it's written like that. Every rupee we have to only earn. Okay. But somehow when I see that, I actually feel how much they can do with all this. Of course, we can do a lot of things. When I think about it, that India is poor, and I know I'm deviating, I'll come back. But I think we need to celebrate. I want to tell something else, but I think we have a reason to celebrate. The recent survey of International Monetary Fund on behalf of United Nations, the research has revealed that 1990, 51% of Indian population was below the poverty line. 2015, that's just 15 years. Only 21% of Indian population will be below poverty line. Of course, if whatever is there with all the scandals, if that is released, it won't even be 21%. But somehow when these treasures were being taken, I was thinking that how much can they do with all this treasure? Because now this will go into confusion. Kerala will say this is ours, India will say it is ours, Tamil Nadu will wish. யோ கோட்டை விட்டமேடா இங்க இருந்ததுன்னா ஒரு 2 ஸ்ட்ரீட்ல மொத்தத்தையும் அடிக்கிருப்பாங்க. See, entire Tamil Nadu is only 3 streets. கோபாலபுரம், போயஸ் கார்டன், போட் கிளப். இதை தாண்டி மீதிலாம் நம்மலாம் அந்த 21% below category. Okay. I was just thinking what a treasure it has been, year after year, a few more of you coming into life, we exploring life together, we playing with life, we translating these messages into life, growing with life, without our knowledge being such a great inspiration to so many other people around us. It's just beautiful. And probably it's all this, I don't know what it is, but there's overflowing gratitude and there is inexplicable happiness. It feels worth being human. It feels worth being born. It feels worth being living. Essentially, it is excited to be alive. And couldn't be without all of you. Won't be without each one of you. Thank you so much. What it is, no, once in a way to have tears of happiness. What it is, once in a way to have tears of gratitude. What it is, once in a way to cry out of feeling loved, especially when you are alone. Because anybody else there, and out of love, out of happiness, out of gratitude, you shed tears, and they don't understand the context of your tears, they immediately start talking. Your silence is broken. But when you can be alone and you just feel, can life be as complete as this? With its incompleteness, in spite of that incompleteness, In spite of all those inadequacies, weaknesses, striving, the not yet, in spite of all these things, so much is not right, but so much is right, much is right. And when you sit alone and tend to grasp what life is, especially for you as an individual, listening to some good music, in a way it can be listened to, no distraction, no mobile, no visitors, no when you really get involved into the music, watchman comes and tells you, postman vandirkaru. So you don't have to deal with all that. You and just the context in which you can, everything is a joy, everything is a celebration. No, சொல்லிட்டே இருக்கணும் போல இருக்கு. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm basically telling them, if you want, you can overhear it. I realized when I was talking to the class about some of the issues they were discussing, we've always discussed in the course, 90% of our life is okay and 10% is not yet. We don't say not okay, not yet. This is a session that is always taken in the context of your life, of your past and of your present continuous, and you are explained that 90% of your life is okay, which is an underestimate because 95, 96, 97, 98, 99% of our life is actually going right. And going right because நம்ம யாருன்னு நம்ம யோசிச்சோம்னா இவ்வளவு போறோம் actually. Okay. So, okay. See, it's not that we are Einstein or Sankaracharya or Leonardo da Vinci. It's not one of those very specially hand architected, specially created creation of God. No normal people. Okay, in spite of being married, the eyes looks at auntie. So that is all. Okay. And then it realizes, say, good by effort, little confused, little ego, little jealousy, little envy, little lust, occasional negative thinking. Once or twice things don't get right, our confidence gets a little shaken up. We are not Mahatma Gandhi, ordinary. For once I want to use absolute South Indian Brahmin tongue. Ordinary Atma. And for that, surplus only life is running. Okay. If how an answer paper will be corrected and every wrong will be wrong and right will be right on the checklist of right answers, when most of our life is examined on laws of life, where all alignment is there, purity of thoughts, purity is feeling, so when all that list is taken and we are evaluated, lot of wrong is there. Okay. Just pass 50, 60. Okay. Don't let your self-image be affected. Just see that as truth and leave it at that. And for that, life is flowing in abundance. What we ask for, we are getting. What we have not asked for, we are getting. What we didn't even think of, we are getting. One or two things which we want is not going the way it wants. Shouldn't. Because if everything goes exactly the way we want, the frailty of a human being is you might start thinking you are God, which we are not. I'm sorry, I'm talking about me. I'm sorry. Because I know some of you have become God long time back. Okay. After your first top gear itself, you started walking like this. Sorry. Let me talk about me. But humor aside, actually think about it. I don't think we are perfect beings. And for those of us who aren't yet perfect beings, life is more than perfect. In fact, it defies the law that the cause has to be the effect. The sun rays have to be from the sun. It cannot assume a dimension other than what the sun is, the cause has to be the effect, and the effect has to be the manifestation of the cause. And yet the fact is, in most of our cases, from an imperfect cause, more than perfect effect, our life has been manifesting, defying the very law of creation. Must be the benevolence of life, must be karma, must be our efforts, must be our relentless striving to become. All these factors put together, let's take some credit for it. Otherwise, he cannot do it by himself. We have to participate in the process of becoming. But the fact is, there are imperfections, and for that, life is an amazing flow. Abundant of flow. Some of the things that we cherish the most in our life was almost gifted to us unasked for. The ideas, the decisions, the realizations, the triggers, the good people in our life. Teddy Pola. We didn't go in search of good people. Good people came in search of us. We didn't struggle with ideas. We threw a question, and from somewhere the answer came floating into our lap. And a lot of us who have corrected ourselves in this journey of life, when you see how much a person struggles to give up chewing habit, almost like an animal, because an animal cannot give up what it has been trained into. An animal that has been trained to sit, when it hears sit, now there is no way you can untrain this animal not to sit when you tell sit. Once trained, that is how it will be forever. It's a victim of its own habits. And when you see a human being who has developed a chewing habit or a smoking, or not able to wake up till 8 o'clock in the morning, and for 7 years, 10 years, 12 years, they keep struggling to overcome this habit. Animals have been trained into it. That includes all of us. Anything we struggle to overcome, in that aspect we are an animal, because we have given into an habit and we don't know how to come out of it. We have become a victim of our own habits. A human being is not supposed to be that. A human being by decision must be able to change anything about his life. His physical condition, his thought processes, his value system, his emotional response to the world, his spiritual alignment, whatever it be. I am a decision away from becoming what I want to become and walk in that direction. And that is what a human is supposed to be. And the inability to do that, which means in that aspect you are just an animal. That's it. And looking at the number of human animals around us, not able to overcome what they want to overcome, and the struggle that they are going through in life. Some of you know it. You have been fighting to overcome anger for I don't know how many years. You have been fighting to overcome your complex I don't know for how many years. You have been fighting to discipline your life I don't know for how many years. You have been fighting to overcome your inferiority complex I don't know for how many years. And I know so many of us who are struggling. We know in that one aspect of life, if we change, we will never be the same again, and we are not able to change. You don't want to doubt, but you are not able to resist. You keep doubting, and you want to overcome this. You are not able to. We know in our own case, from fighting anger to inferiority complex to inhibitions to inability to resist that chocolate or that sweet or that ice cream, even when I know it's not good for me. Even when I know that my health is deteriorating because of this, my organization is disintegrating, my marriage is falling apart, my parents are not relating to me properly because of this, even when we know. In fact, you know, in this one aspect, if you change, your organization will take off. You know in the heart of your own heart, your organization has become what it has become because of you, and it is not becoming what it can become because of you. You were its strength and you have become its weakness. And you know if you change in this one direction, everything will change. Theriyum. Living in a forum like this, there are people who are still scared of public speaking. Something that they should have thrown from their life in matter of months and lived the rest of their life without that weakness. No matter how much is explained to you, you still fear death. And you should have just needed one top gear to transcend death, but you're not able. So we know there are areas which we want to correct, which we want to transcend, we are not able to. So in some aspects we are also still animals. Victims of our past thought conditioning, victims of our instincts, and victims of our habits. We have learned something and we are not able to unlearn. And there is a relentless struggle. When you look at it, don't you think that all of us should feel very blessed on the number of areas where we decided to change and we changed? In a context when you understand, not everybody is able to change where they want to change. And when all of us look at our life, 80-90% of the areas in our life where we decided we should change, we changed. Where we realized we need to change, we changed. Where we understood we needed a change, we changed. And some of these changes in our life, which looks monumental in the eyes of the world, seem to have come to us effortlessly. 30, 40 years later, one day we realize this is not how I should be thinking, and from the next day we change the way we think. Not something that everybody in the world is able to do. Remember one of the conversations I had with GRK. An organization, GRK, can be built to think the way we want them to think because the mind of the man is the man. Change the mind and you'll change the man. And we come from a country of Mahatma Gandhi, where he showed to us, if you communicate long enough, even the mindset of an empire can be changed. We come from the world of Swami Vivekananda, who showed us, if you communicate long enough, the mindset of a nation can be changed. We come from the world of an Abdul Kalam, who showed all of us, if you communicate long enough, the mindset of an younger generation towards the future of India can be changed. The mind of the man is the man. Change the mind, you change the man. And thoughts can be changed only through thoughts. So communicate. And you'll never know a moment. An entire organization can be trained to think in sync with the overall vision of an organization, provided we understand the role and the importance of communicating with the organization, either as the head of an institution or through training or whichever way you want. Communication will not change. Communicating long enough will change. What cannot be changed? After all, every religion which gave a new path to every religious seeker in the world is a result and effect of the founder of the religion communicating long enough to create a new mindset in humanity. After all, what is development of a brand? Communicating long enough to the market till you achieve a market share. Communication will not produce results. Communicating long enough will produce the results. And when we look into our life, the number of areas like that where the instant we realize we need to change, our thought patterns changed and our life changed. Our emotional responses changed, and it just changed. It just changed. The more and more you see how people struggle to change, the more and more you understand how gifted we must be that we just changed. So in the class, to bring about the shift, we explain 90% of your life is okay, 10% is not it. I remember a long time back, after watching the movie Speed, me discussing it in a mastermind, then I also wrote about it in Frozen Thoughts. There is this situation where these two police officers will be having a conversation, trying to search for a bomb, when one of the police officers will ask the hero of the movie there, by name Jack, let me give you a question. And I want to know your answer. Somewhere